Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to episode number 2. Can you believe it's number 2, my bestie? Yes, and unmute yourself. Yes.
No, I won't do that.
There you are. Hi, bestie.
Oh my gosh, I was so on it, man. I was so on it. No, happy episode number 2. My goodness.
I'm excited. And I know you're excited, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited to get more into that noggin of yours.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, welcome,
How
everyone.
are you guys? How is everyone?
Yes. Let us know in the comments how you are, where you are. Yeah, all the things. So, guys, we created this show as a safe space where cancer survivors and cancer supporters come together to share their stories and connect, as well as find resources that provide healing, hope, and resilience. Speaking of resources, this week I attended part of the free Global Virtual Cancer Conference, which was amazing. You guys should totally check it out. The event's over, but the video recordings are available this coming week. Just go to www.globalvirtual. Thanks, bestie. globalvirtualconference.com to register, and you can still get the free recordings. They're going out this week. So definitely check it out.
Yes. And let us know where you're tuning in from around the world. We definitely want to know. We appreciate you just, giving us some of your time tonight for sure. This is for you and all of us. So we just appreciate this together with all of us. And so that said, after long awaited like a whole week of waiting, I am going to be interviewing Tim about his 15-year journey living with leukemia. And also ask some questions that maybe he hasn't answered publicly before, but they're just to be like, hey, maybe other people are thinking this too, or maybe other people are experiencing this. So I told Tim before, if you're not keen on answering, it's completely okay. And also if you ever need to talk to us about, how you're feeling with some of these questions, or how you're feeling with this, with just Tim sharing in general, please reach out to us. Privately, like message wise, just we're here for you. But before we get into that, we definitely need to look at some comments because they keep mounting for sure.
They're blowing up. We so appreciate all of you being here. So who do we have here, bestie?
So Mariah showed us some love.
Hey, Mariah.
Yes.
Mariah had an amazing workshop today. I believe it was on self-care. So I hope your workshop went awesome, Mariah.
Oh, nice. Yes. And then Jenny Gold is just rapping too. And she says, hi, Elizabeth Tizongu.
Hi, Jenny. And Liz is at a class tonight, but maybe she'll pop in. You never know.
Liz, love it.
We love that, Liz.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah, Jenny Gold is pretty much our cheerleader today.
Every show needs a cheerleader. Yeah.
We love you, Jenny.
Yeah.
Emily Harmon. Hey.
Hey, Emily.
Hello from Massachusetts. Thank you, Melody. Bellevue.
Yeah, thank you.
And Gabe, hello.
Hey, Gabe. He's always shining the bright light on other live streamers. He's been doing daily posts highlighting amazing live streamers. I have not even heard of half these shows before, nor have I had the time to check out many of them yet, but I will try.
Just throw it on my to-do list. But it is pretty awesome that he's like, hey, just so you know, this exists. So
Yes,
also
totally.
real quick, if you're wondering what's going on with my background, I have a puppy. So you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
Hi, Henry. Everybody shout out to Henry in the comments.
Yeah.
He needs to hear from you. He needs some love.
I know, right? And then Olune, hey.
Hey,
Thank
Olune,
you
great
so
to
much.
see you.
Hello, Olune. Gracie, hello.
Thanks so
Jam.
much for being here. Jim.
Yes.
Hey, Jim.
And then, well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Thanks.
Same.
Yes, thanks for letting us know which life you are in at the moment. Update us later. We're curious.
Same. And Travis Blackner.
Hey, Travis. I had a great call with him yesterday. He is an amazing super producer.
Aren't you the DJ, Travis?
That's him. That link I sent you that day?
Yeah, Travis, let's talk.
Yes.
Stefan. Oh, my brother from another mother. Oh.
Thanks for being here, Stefan. Okay, everybody do the Tim. Do you all know how to do the Tim?
Finger dancing?
Finger dancing, yes. Do this in the comments. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Carl Shad. My goodness. Yes. The Rav is in the house.
Hey, Carl. Looking forward to catching up with you tomorrow.
Whoa, yes. I was super happy to catch up with him last week. It just made my day. So
yes, you gotta love
spread
that.
the love, Carl Sean.
No.
Yeah, we can't believe it's number 2 either.
Yes. Shocking.
And thank you. Just putting it out there. Thank you for letting us know. Hi, Mary Wells. We're just kind of going through. Oh, Bill Bradford. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
I believe you're in Indianapolis tonight. I asked him in the comments, where in the world are you today? And I believe he said Indianapolis. Let us know if that's correct.
Where's your home? Your actual home? Do you leave that in the comments? Like, not the address, but like what city or zip code?
Yes.
Rose Horwitz. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Rose.
Hey,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the kudos.
Yes, Roses has a show called Women to Follow. You guys should check it out. Not right now, but you should check it out sometime.
Can you hear them? Can you hear us, guys? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. Let us know if you can't hear us. Aw, love your glasses.
Thanks. I don't wear them very often.
Oh. Hey, there's another Sohn in the house.
There's an Eileen Sohn, and Mom and Dad should be here too. Hello, family.
Oh my goodness.
And you should have fam in the house also, right, Bestie?
Maybe, brother. Did you remember to click on the link?
Yes.
And the bears and turkeys? Yes, Chris Stone.
Yes, thank you. They send their greetings to you.
Yes. Aww. So, our favorite Jason Freeman in the house.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for letting us know where you are.
Yeah. I don't know how to get there, but if you leave your... No, don't leave your address. I'm just kidding.
No, please don't, Jason. Sharing is caring. Thanks for providing the platform for us to share our journeys. My goodness, you're very welcome, Patty Hone. And we're very excited for you to share yours, for sure.
Yes, thank you so much.
Larv. And Mark Lee.
Mark Lee is in the house? Hello, Mark Lee. We're sending you so much love. Can you feel the love? Yes. Mark Lee.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, after you.
Oh, I was going to say, I told Tim this last week, but I don't know if you know this, Mark Lee. Without you, we wouldn't have met. So go Mark Lee. Yes. Was that what you were going to say, or?
Yep, same brain.
Okay, Bessie Powers. We're powering through all these amazing comments.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Salem. Hey, Russ Hedge.
Hey, Russ. Thanks so much for being here. Russ added a 4th live show to his weekly lineup. Tell everybody in the comments what your 4th live show is, Russ. Carl Sean Watkins was on his show this week, on his new show.
Why? That's a lot.
Yes, tell us why. Tell us why in the world you would create 4 live shows. We want to know. I'm sure there's a good reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Phyllis, thank you so much.
Hey, Phyllis, it's awesome to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Alex, our Alex.
Who is the guy with the glasses? Do you guys see somebody with the glasses? Who do you think it is? Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, hello from Alaska. The guy who tried to say that he took me to the prom. I didn't go to the prom. And I didn't live in Alaska. But I still think it's funny. Oh.
It is funny.
Cassandra.
Hey,
welcome.
Cassandra.
From Illinois.
Welcome, welcome.
Everyone's loving your spectacles.
Oh, good. Tim. My spectacles, yes. Are my spectacles a spectacle?
Thank you. Thank you.
Eileen has a dog also. Your dogs need to meet. She has a dog named Riley. They need to meet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you. Henry's getting love.
Yes.
Henry, oh my gosh.
Henry. I love it.
All of this. I'm zooming through the comments, but there's so many amazing one of these, or so many amazing comments.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely check out Patty's blog. For sure. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, there's so many. I'm trying not to like breeze through, but thank you so much, guys. Okay. We are loving the comments.
Yes.
And we'll probably spend all morning responding to these comments tomorrow morning.
Yes, for sure.
I think it took me like 3 hours.
Oh my God.
But it was worth it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it means so much to us that you guys are taking time out to be here with us tonight.
Definitely. And it means so much that you're loving Tim's glasses.
I was not expecting those comments, but thank you for them. I never know what to expect in the video. Yes.
I know, right? My goodness.
Yeah. So what should we do now?
Oh, you know, I am. So I'm like kind of easing into it, you know.
Yeah.
So I do want to kind of put that out there because, you know, what connection do you have? Also, I do want to. I told you that I was going to do it, and then I totally didn't. I'm going to put the Global Virtual Cancer Conference in the links. Or in the comments real quick. So under Tam, it's going to look like Tam, but it's me. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, so this is the point where we're all kind of waiting for Tam's more in-depth story, how he chooses to talk about it. But also because this is about all of us, you know, what connection do you have to cancer? Let us know in the chat, anything, right? And also, please don't hesitate to give Tam major kudos and love, how you want to in the comments, because it's about all of us, but this is about us supporting and loving on Tam today too. So.
And don't forget to support and love on my bestie either.
That's next week. It's going to be a train wreck. Can't wait.
It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be heartfelt.
Yeah, what I love about this show is that all of it's heartfelt. It comes from the heart, all of it, even our wisecracking shenanigans.
We even have hearts on the screen.
Yeah.
Kara made all these hearts and all this branding. If you need branding for your show, talk to her.
I mean, for real.
For reals. Seriously.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's get into it, Tam. You know, kind of, would you like to recap your overall story that you have shared regarding, you know, how you even were diagnosed with cancer?
Sure.
A bit ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah. So in December, it will be 15 years that I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. And how it happened was I had some purple blotches on my legs. At the time, I was living in New Jersey. And I went to my primary care physician and he took some blood tests. And as I'm leaving the parking lot, he calls me on my cell phone and he says, well, I don't really remember exactly what he said, but I know he said that you need to go to the hospital. And so I went to the hospital, which was 2 hours away. And I was there for about a week. And in that time period, I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. Now, I had never had any other major medical issues before. There have been other people in the family, like extended family, that have had different forms of cancer, and they've either passed from it or they're survivors of it, or they're currently going through it now. But I personally had never had any serious medical issues. So it was very unexpected. And those 2 hours from my primary care physician's parking lot to the hospital was probably the longest 2 hours of my life because I had no idea what to expect. And that's kind of how the beginning of the story goes.
Yeah. I mean, that, like, even hearing it back now, just listening to you talk about that, I just, being like, from my perspective of never receiving that diagnosis, but being like family who has, like, that is a lot, like, in itself. And so I'm just kind of thinking, like, wow, you know, that's just literally a lot. And so how old were you when you were first diagnosed?
I was 28. 28
and wow. And so what was your life up until that diagnosis? Like, what was it like? Where did you live? What job did you have? Like, what'd you do?
I worked at a newspaper at night. So like 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 1 o'clock in the morning at a newspaper in northern New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey. I actually lived right next door to the newspaper, like literally right next door to the newspaper. In case anybody was wondering, and if you want to find that newspaper, the name of it. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing addresses tonight. No. But that was kind of where I was at. It was a few months later that I started dating my now wife, Joy. Yeah.
What's cute, guys, what's cute is that I have all these questions like down so he can see them. And then he's kind of like, oh, I'm going to have to talk about it. Great. I'm going to do it on my terms.
Wow.
I love it. I saw what
I'm not
you
even
did
looking
there.
at the questions. They are over here, but I'm not.
I love it. No. But yeah, so let's talk about that too. I mean, were you like, you weren't dating, you didn't have you weren't married, you weren't dating, you didn't have kiddos then. And then when did Joy just happen to be in the picture? How'd you meet her?
Happened to be in the picture a few months later. We met each other through eHarmony. That's how we met. I was living in New Jersey. She was living over the border in New York State. And our schedules were totally opposite. I worked at night. She worked during the day. I would call her at 1 o'clock in the morning when I was done with the newspaper, and she'd be falling asleep on the phone while I was talking. It was all good. Yes. Now we're married with 2 kids.
And I think this is adorable because I kind of thought, okay, so when people receive a diagnosis of cancer, especially, their mind is just spinning, and they're either like, oh my gosh, I'm going to stand in place, and because we don't know what's going to happen, or you just go full force, or you just pretend that there's no diagnosis and you're just going to live your life. Which approach did you take, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I felt fine. Like, I've been really lucky. We haven't really talked about this part yet, but I've been really lucky that I do have to take oral chemo medication daily for the rest of my life, and I have had to for the last 15 years. But I haven't had side effects from it, and overall, I feel great. And shout out to eHarmony, who should be a sponsor of the show as well. Yes, along with
Oh, I'm writing that down, actually.
Yeah.
eHarmony.
Yes.
Also, shout out to P&G.
Yes, shout out to P&G. We love your puffs tissues. They're wonderful. Here, I could even demonstrate. Well, I don't really have anything to, but here's an example. This is a tissue. I don't need them.
I mean, I may accidentally make Tim cry later, and I may not. Who knows? I may need them. We shall
see. It's early on. Yes.
Who knows?
We have time.
I love it. Oh wait.
Yeah. So eHarmony is how we met. And then, thank you, Olene. Love you, Olene. Yeah. So then what happened was we were dating a few months after I got diagnosed, and I didn't know how to deal with that. Like, when do you tell someone that you have cancer? Like, so Joy was over at my apartment one day, and she saw an appointment slip on the refrigerator that said the name of the oncology place I went to, blah, 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 oncology. So we were talking one day at 1 o'clock in the morning after one of my newspaper shifts, and it came up. And that's when that conversation happened, that I had chronic leukemia. Yeah. So, but I think that's these are questions to think about when, if you're diagnosed with leukemia or cancer, any kind of cancer, like, how do you deal with telling different people in your life, whether it's somebody you just started dating or other family members or friends, like, how and when do you tell them, like, that's not, like, there's no handbook on that, at least that I know of.
Yeah. And like, okay, so I'm kind of breaking interview mode now, I guess. Okay. So like, for me, seeing it on my end, like, you have been this person who's like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I feel fine. I just have to take medication and I have headaches all the time, but I'm fine. And not a lot of people knowing, and like, for 14 years. And then you have been talk about it on LinkedIn, which is pretty amazing. And it's like, like, what do you do? And like, do you have any regrets of like how that unfolded with Joy? Like, her knowing?
No, I don't have any regrets. I mean, it was really early on. It was only like a few months, and Joy is just very patient and calm, and in most situations. So, I don't know how I would have reacted if I was her. You're dating someone and you see something on the refrigerator that says oncology, and you're like, are they not sharing something with me? Like, should I know that? is that going to affect something? Like, but it was early on, you know? So like, it's hard to, yeah, there's hard questions when cancer arises in your life, right?
So who agrees with me that perhaps Tim would have run away to the woods and then called Joy? Be like, so is there something you want to tell me? Speaking of which, thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason Freeman. Yes.
Paging
we love
PNG.
PNG.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so going back to that though, I mean, so you started dating Joy a few months afterwards. She found out a few months after that, and then you eventually get married. And so were there any plans of like, hey, I want children? Would there be any issues with possibly doing that? And like, did you have any plans, or were you like, let's just see what happens?
I think early on in dating, we had talked about whether we, not necessarily the two of us together, but whether we wanted to have children, just like individually. And we both did want to. And so like regarding the situation of, like, is it possible to have children? Like if you have cancer, is it even possible to, or is there a chance that there would be complications or, those kind of things. So, so we had talked to my oncologist, and he had said that there wasn't that much data. He said there was some anecdotal stories of, the father having, like that children were possible with the father having cancer, but there wasn't a lot of data. On the women's side, on the female side, they definitely suggested not to have children because there could be issues. So, and I'm sure it's different in each situation. Yeah. So we didn't know for sure if, like we knew there was a risk, but we decided to do it anyway. We decided to have children anyway.
It's fine. It just got slightly X-rated for a second. You're welcome.
Hey, it's 9:30 at night, right? It's the Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer after hours show. Yes. Welcome to our Cancer After Hours show.
Yes.
And that just happened.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the comments after that. I wonder what Senor Payasada has to say about that. Should we look at some more comments? Well,
I like this one. Paging eHarmony.
Thank you, Mark Lee. Yes. Come join us.
You know what? That's very interesting. How soon should you bring it up in life? I have dysgraphia, and I usually bring it up early in the relationships. I didn't see that. So that is issues with numbers and directions, right, Mark Lee? Probably correct me.
I didn't know.
But that could be a little different, like, hey, just want to let you know. Like, you could give me your phone number, but it may take me a couple tries to get it right. And if that's like the wrong misconception, Mark, I totally get it. And sorry. And thank you. I try. Great questions. Thank you. Hold on. Oh, it's definitely a tough call to decide who to tell and when. You will definitely find out pretty quick who your inner circle is. There's no gray zone with cancer. Did you find that to be true, Tim?
I didn't find that. like I've only found, I mean, I did not tell a lot of people early on that I had leukemia. Even, you know, like we kept it pretty close to our close family, just because we didn't know what to expect. And so we just decided to keep it that way. And I didn't share my story until 15 years later. And when I shared my story, I didn't tell my family I was going to do it either.
So how's that been working out for you, by the way?
It's all good now. It's all good now. But I mean, you know, there were some conversations that happened after, you know, but everybody's been very supportive, especially, well, I think they would be supportive either way, but just like there's been so much positive feedback, and so many people like Bob who have, you know, reached out, and other amazing people here in this community, whether it's other survivors or, you know, people sharing that they've had a family member who has cancer, or, you know, different things, that everybody's just been so supportive and loving, and sharing their stories. So yeah, it's been, but it's definitely hard to decide, you know, like if you decide to share your cancer story, right? Like, how is that going to affect you? Is it, or others around you? Is it going to affect, like, for example, like if you're looking for a job, right? And if you share your leukemia story on LinkedIn, is a company not going to hire you because you have cancer, right? Maybe some would, maybe some would be like, wow, that guy has a lot of guts for sharing his story, right? You know, but you don't know what's gonna come of it. And even like your family, your friends, or like, you don't know how people are going to react to it. You know, you don't even know how yourself is going to react to it at first.
And so with that, and that is, I mean, I can only imagine with employers as well, future employers, you know, like, oh, great, like, go you, champ, could you not enroll in our health insurance, you know?
Seriously.
Or, and I do want to circle back to that, health insurance for sure. But I'm gonna do it, Tom. I'm gonna ask. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But this is kind of something that is close. It's a huge thing for you, and it's like, I am very curious as well. You haven't actually sat down to tell your sweet kiddos about your diagnosis.
I haven't.
So, one, let us know in the comments if you have, you know, and your cancer journey, if you ever like encountered that tough decision, what you did, or if you're going through that now and you don't know what to do. But can you give us a reason? Can you give us a look into why you haven't had that conversation yet?
Sure. So we were talking before about you know, like the timing of, you know, like when to make kinds of decisions when it comes to your cancer journey. And telling the kiddos is, it's a really hard decision to make, because like each of us has our own story, right? Each of us is at a certain place in the journey. And for me, I feel great besides my migraines, and my leukemia numbers are going up, but otherwise I'm doing good. And so like kind of the way that I look at it is that I don't want to cause them, like our kids are 10 and 7, you know, like first grade and higher. And I don't want to have to give them stress or worry at that age that, like, if one of my parents told me that early on, I don't know how I would react, really, because that didn't happen to me. But just kind of my reasoning is that it's not, like, I'm not going to say it's not affecting me, because it affects me in some ways, but I'm not really sick. Like, they can't see that I'm sick, other than the migraines, which allegedly aren't connected to the cancer, you know? So we were talking about this the other day, Bestie. I know we're going to talk about your perspective next week, but do you want to share a little bit from your perspective?
So I can, if that is something that, our awesome audience is okay with. I do want to keep the spotlight on you, if you don't mind, and just your perspective. No assessment, no, just all perspective, because your perspective is your own, and perhaps is a lot of other people's perspective, and you vocalizing that is just giving people that representation that they may need. So I am open to, but I would rather talk about it from my perspective next week, if you guys don't mind. And I do want to say, though, that as a parent, I'm sure you rethink and overthink every situation that ever comes to mind regarding your kiddos, and you always want to do what's best for them. And so I don't feel that there's any one way to do it perfectly. So can we just give Tim a lot of love? Yeah.
And my bestie, give Kara love too.
Thank you. I do want to do a couple comments that rolled in, but show a couple comments. One is, it was interesting when Tim's wife walked into the house right when the podcast ended, and then he decided to tell her that he had just told the world. Interesting, Tim. How'd she respond?
When probably something like, oh. I don't think she said much at first. Yeah.
Yeah, probably surprised. You haven't really talked about it at all, and now you're just deciding to talk about it. That would be very interesting.
Yes.
Shout out to Joy.
Is definitely the right word.
Shout out to Joy. She's awesome.
I agree. Yes. Shout out to Joy, who's upstairs.
Yes. And also, Rob Statham, thank you so much. It is great that much more light is being shed on these topics in a very real way. Thank you for doing such a great job discussing this, Tim Sohn and Kara Oelker. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
There's a lot of comments. We will respond for sure. But
yeah.
So I want to talk about, so what's your current approach with this now, with just your journey and just your daily life, managing your symptoms, your taking your medications, doing what you need to do, living your life? Do you have goals for yourself? Do you have long-term, do you allow yourself to think long-term?
That's a really good question. I guess I tend to be more of a short-term thinker. Even having cancer, probably because I'm not really sick. Yes, I have cancer, but I'm not, you know, like I function fine. You know, like I know some people say, you know, like when you're diagnosed with cancer, it like changes your outlook on, you know, like everything that you do and every moment counts and all that, which like there are definitely moments like that. But I don't really, and probably part of me not thinking long term is just deflecting, because I am the king of deflection. And so, yes, that's me. So, like, from time to time, it creeps into my head, like, what could happen with my cancer down the road? You know, how could it affect my life down the road? Will my life end earlier than I'd like it to? Um, so I think about those things from time to time, but I try not to let it creep in too often. You know, I just kind of like live life like I'm living life, but you know, in the moment, but not like dwelling on the fact that I have cancer in like every decision I make.
Okay. That's good to know. That's really good to know. I can only imagine that subconsciously you would think more short term. Like, I feel fine, but
I'm
let's
good.
do
I'm
a
good.
month to month kind of thing. Yeah. Like, just in case. No,
You know me. I'm good. Yeah, it's all good.
do you have survivor's guilt, Tim?
I sometimes I feel that because I've never been really sick, even while I've had cancer, that I do feel, I guess you could call it survivor's guilt. Like that's part of the reason that I think that I haven't shared my story until 15 years, almost 15 years later, is because I just like, I know there's so many people out there who are suffering. And I know there's many also that are, you know, doing, you know, that are not suffering as much. But I just kind of always felt like it wasn't my place to share my story because there's other people out there that are going through more than me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. But I'm so glad I have shared my story, because if not, we wouldn't be here right now, among other reasons.
Well, that, and it just, when you have something that you like, oh, but it could be worse, right? You tuck it away, you don't give it acknowledgement. And then before you know it, you're missing pieces of yourself that really just lead to just full fulfillment and I don't know, name an area of your life or whatever. And it just causes you to just hold back just a little bit, right? And so I know in my own journey of life, denying myself of for so long, denying myself the whole, but it was traumatic, like it was intense, you know. It is my story, like thinking
Yes.
like, oh no, it's not valid compared to someone else. Well, it's your story. And so the beautiful thing that you are doing now is making yourself valid, because you are, you know. So I just want to sneak that comment in. And anyone
Thank you.
else who thinks that they're not dealing with stuff, like that it's not hard or that it's not visibly just arduous, like you have a right to talk about your story, about your struggles. Like they're all valid. So I just want to say that to everyone. Okay. So,
That's so true. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, like, so many things have happened since sharing my story. Like, you know, connecting with other survivors and um, you know, having the opportunity to share my stories on different shows and different platforms and newsletters and virtual events and like so many different places, that and the feedback, like, you know, just like the messages of love and care and concern and stories stories from others. Like, if you are like a survivor, or you have some other sort of connection to cancer, and if you share your story, most likely what's going to happen is a similar thing, that people are going to spread love on you, and you're going to connect with other amazing human beings that are in similar situations as you.
Yeah.
I never expected any of this to happen, and I'm just so grateful for every single part of it.
Yeah. It's like, you know, spreading a little love to others, you get a little love back, and it's just an amazing feeling. And I do want to show this. You are a great deflector, Tim, now more than ever, but you deflect with care and are always all hearts. That is very
Thank you,
true.
Stefan.
Yes. And so I do want to ask, though, kind of a little bit of a redirect. Like, with any medical anything that you are dealing with, going through, however you want to phrase it, like, did you ever have issues getting treatment due to lack of health care?
I haven't experienced that. When I was first diagnosed, I was working at a newspaper. I think I was on Cobra. Do you guys know what Cobra is? It's like when you switch jobs, and it's like a gap filler for your health insurance kind of thing. So I was on that, I think. And but I like, I've never been in a spot where health insurance wise, it's really been like, back then it was the most challenging, because I just had my insurance, or my Cobra, whatever it was. And then once I married Joy has good health insurance. So that works well, but not everybody, you know, has good in health insurance, and cancer treatment can be really, really expensive. Like, I think my pills are over $10,000 a month without any insurance, which is just crazy, right?
Yeah. That is a lot of people's yearly incomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If their yearly income is that much.
Yeah. Putting that into perspective.
Seriously. I know there are programs out there, like through the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and other organizations, I'm sure, as well as I know some of the pharmaceutical companies sometimes have different programs. I think it's usually based on your financial situation. I'm sure there's different resources out there, so it's not like you're totally stuck. But it is definitely challenging from a financial perspective if you know, if you don't have good insurance.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Yeah, because like there's so many instances where people are like without, you know, even diabetes, like a lot of some people have to skip, you know, their insulin intake or limit it, and like just insulin, right? And so
Right.
I can't even imagine with cancer, you know, that can be just terrifying to think like, oh my gosh, I hope my insurance is okay today. I hope it's all good. I hope I still have it. I hope all the paperwork's still good.
Yeah, and I know sometimes also people will set up a GoFundMe page for people who need, who need help with finances when they're going through stuff like that. So that could be an option as well. If you don't have insurance, and if you have a family member, a friend, or somebody who wants to set up something like that for you, that could help as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's also sad that is the state of,
I agree.
of our healthcare system. There are so many amazing doctors and medical health professionals, just doing their thing, and like the insurance cost of it, the cost of it is just can be astronomical sometimes.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask though, and this is kind of rounding it out. You're quiet, guys. Crickets in the comments. Is it broken? Is my StreamYard broken? Where are you guys? Are you off trying to find where your puffs are? Let us know if you're still here.
Shout out to Puffs.
Yes. Senor, where are you?
Paging Senor.
Yes. So rounding it out for sure, what would you tell your younger self? Your freshly, newly diagnosed self, what would you tell him like now, if you could?
That's the hardest question out of all of them.
Really?
Yes. What would I tell myself? I mean, you can't always do this, but like surround yourself with people that love you, have a positive mindset. Like that's not easy to do at first when you're diagnosed with cancer and you're like, but just try to take it step by step. Like try not to think too far ahead. Also easier said than done. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
No, that's good. That is good, because when you're young and you don't really, not that you're old by any means, but when you're younger, you haven't started your family yet. It is a lot to take on. So that is good. A support system and trying to think of like, hey, it's not all roses, but I'm going to get through it somehow. I'm sure those are two very important things that are hard to do.
Yeah. And I mean, I was lucky to have a good support system as well. Like my mom's a retired public health nurse, and she actually used to work at the hospital where I went. So, and she used to like review all the charts of the doctors. That was her job when she was there. So she knew everyone there. She knew where to turn to for resources and things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was really
Shout
helpful.
out to Tim's mom. Are you in the audience?
Yes.
We're going to get her on the show at some point, so watch out. Also, my puppy just stood up, and that was adorable. Sorry, that just distracted me.
Yeah, shout out to Henry. Where's Rita? I haven't heard her yet.
Oh, she's staring. There's going to be a fight soon. Yeah, so Tim's mom, if you're watching, we're going to see you at some point. Just letting you know. Also, last question. What would you tell others also currently managing their cancer diagnosis? What would you tell people right now going through a lot of uncertainty and just a lot right now?
Reach out to organizations like the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society or other organizations. reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you. Reach out to Kara. Reach out to, if you can connect with other survivors or family members, I think it helps a lot to be able to have conversations with people that also have some connection to cancer. Like, everybody's story is different and everything's not exactly the same. But I do think like conversations between people that have cancer connections is powerful and really supportive and helpful.
Yeah, definitely, because people can empathize all they want, but you need someone who's been through it and to just let you go through it as you're going through it, because chances are they've needed to do that for them. And you don't need one more person telling you what you need to be doing in your life who have no authority over what you need to be doing in your life. Like, how do you know? You're not going through this. So
yeah,
that's really good advice.
Thanks for asking.
So you're welcome. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and opening up. And even though everyone's fallen asleep, we love you. But show us
Drink your
you're
coffee.
Alive. Yes.
Drink your 10 o'clock coffee.
Yes. Oh, do you have it, Tim?
I do. We should do a mugshot.
Oh. The Dutch play on words.
Can you put yours closer over this way? Ready? Smile. Can you move your mug a little bit so it's more forward facing? Yes.
I don't know what you mean.
Like, move it. Yeah, that's good. Stay there and smile. Oh, wait. Hold on. We're going to do this again. Here we go. Ready? Wait. Now mine's not the right way. It's all good. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
That's called a mugshot.
Oh, love it. So I haven't read this, so we'll see, but it's a paragraph. And so thank you, Janet, for commenting. Just stopping by to your Tim. I did not realize how long you've been on this journey. My father and sister went through operative forms of cancer. I've shared this on my page. I'm sure this will be a blessing. You are a blessing to many. Yes, he is. Lifting you up to the throne of our merciful Father. You are so loved. Prayers for healing and every provision. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. That means so much. Thank you for sharing also. Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
We can be here for each other and share our stories.
Yeah. And also, if you want to be a guest on the show or know someone who might want to, go to this link right here. I'm even going to put it on the comments. Hold on.
Yes.
What? Oh, we're not on LinkedIn. That's why. Do you see it, Tim?
Oh, look at that. Let's keep going.
Okay, and we're going, guys. And we're going. Oh my. So I'm doing that just in case someone can see it. But yeah, if you want to be a guest, let us know. And if you also want to support this show as a sponsor, message Tim for details. We would love to collaborate with you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Henry would like it also.
Oh, thank you. And Janet's taking screenshots for us. So thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe you have the mugshot.
Well, it's
and
on
I reconnected
LinkedIn.
us on LinkedIn, so I think we're okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Merkley.
Thank you.
Perfect. So is there anything else you want to say or talk about? Because we're actually 1 minute over. Whoa.
I know. We were last time too. At least we're consistent. I just want to say thank you, bestie, for, I know these conversations are not easy to have with anyone, We do have vulnerable conversations on a daily basis though. So, but it's not easy to have those conversations and to come up with questions, for something like this. I just so appreciate you doing that and just being here on this journey with me. Like these conversations are not easy to have, and to, show up and commit to doing something like this on a consistent weekly basis. That's just amazing. So I'm spreading lots of love on my bestie over there.
Thank you.
Do you feel it?
I do. Thank you. And to be honest, like, it's just part of it is just, knowing how delicate of a nature like this topic is. And, it's this fine balance between not wanting to trigger someone talking, and also wanting to provide some type of healing too. Like we both, Tim and I, have had moments where we're like, it's a little too much, like I just hold on, and but we go about it and we approach it how we need to. And so that's where you guys come in too. Like, talk to us. Let us know if that was a little too much for you, or if that struck a good chord for you, because it's all about, like, Tam, I do appreciate you sharing your story, because it was very vulnerable. Like the other parts of your story, like what's in your noggin, what you're thinking, what's in your heart, right? That's very vulnerable. And at the same time, you providing that for someone to listen in case they need to, and you never know if you're going to influence somebody, like you don't know who you're going to influence, but you're either going to influence in like a good or bad way. So it's like, how do you want to do that? And so I just appreciate you. Oh, are we using the puffs?
Yep. Puffs time.
P&G.
Yes, P&G sponsored the show.
Yeah, I'm going to walk down. I'm going to just have a walk and my coffee. Be like, what's up, guys? Let's talk puffs. Put down your rubber bullets. Thanks.
Yeah. But I guess I also just want to say, thank you to all of you who are here, who are taking time to be here with us in this space and, support the show, support other people who are here, support other survivors, other supporters, any people who have connections to cancer. That it just means so much to us. And I need more puffs. Kara, you need to talk.
No, it's good. To make it light, I do want to call out Nancy Burrows and Brian Schulman for not being here. We love you and we know you have lives, but you were blowing us up in the comments last week and now we don't see you. So we miss you and we love you. And we're still calling you out because you have lives, but we love you.
Yes.
No, yeah. Thank you everyone for showing up and for just being here with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So next week, I have the honor of interviewing my bestie about her connections to cancer.
If you are someone's child who, whose parent had cancer or is dealing with cancer, no matter how old you are, next week's episode would be an episode for you. So, trigger warning, I'm probably going to need all the puffs, but, we're trying to provide all the perspectives here. Yeah. So that's what's happening next week. And Oh, I love it. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for trusting us with your story and journey, Tim.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your thoughts. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So next week, it'll be that perspective. So, just let people know every week, hey, there's this show. They're equal parts serious and equal parts cracking jokes at the weirdest times. Maybe this will be for you. But we hope to be just a part of you, just like you're a part of us every week. So thanks for being here, guys.
What she said. Couldn't say it any better. Yes. Thank you.
Well, Tim's gonna roll in a bunch of puffs.
Probably. Yeah. I was thinking if I roll in a bunch of puffs and then post it on social media, maybe that will capture P&G's attention. And then when you walk down the street, you can just, bring your phone and show them. And then right away they'll say, yes, we will sponsor your show.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, do you want to pet my puppy? His name's Henry.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Bestie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you next week.
Yes. Bye, guys. Yeah. See you.
Bye. We love you.